Every time I went to Poland, I was struck by its natural beauty. It's home to 200 species of birds that are rare or extinct in the rest of Western Europe, including 40,000 pairs of white storks that nest as cherished residents of Polish villages. It has the only sizable virgin temperate forest left in Europe and the last herds of wild bison. Its rivers are still free-flowing and unpolluted. This is a tourist area famous for its crystal-clear lakes. However, this is where there is a huge concentration of pig factories.
We don't need such companies. Tourism is the basic business for people who live here to earn money.
I know our people are supporting me. The direction that we are planning and we want to go our development is tourism together with small agriculture. This is the way that people could achieve economical independence.
If the experts are worried about pollution and the exploitation of the Earth's resources, shouldn't we be learning from Poland's traditional family farms and so protect them?
It works, it's adequate for this number of hectares and for the number of people, and it doesn't use a lot of energy, and it doesn't therefore contribute to the greenhouse effect. And as oil becomes more and more expensive, you'll surely find that this kind of farming is going to be more attractive and more economic for that matter.
Alicia Samley's farm has been in her family for generations.
Nasza produkcja świń nie będzie się opłacała, dlatego że powstawają duże fermy i one produkują bardzo dużo świń. W krótkim czasie mają pasze z różnymi dodatkami, dlatego świnie rosną krótko, nasze rosną pół roku i dlatego nie będzie się opłacać. Jak będą ceny spadać coraz niżej, to produkcja w ogóle nie będzie opłacalna. To właśnie się nie podoba, bo duże gospodarstwa mają im więcej hektarów, tym więcej dopłat.
A lot of the European officials are saying that the Polish farmers are too small. They've only got 18 hectares. What's too small about that?
They want to sweep them aside so larger operators can take over, and everything will be eventually owned by the corporations, I think.
And what do you think will happen to Poland as a result of that?
If Poland's family farmers are exterminated, as it were, it will destroy Poland's culture and, as far as that goes, its soul.
So it seems that economic development is not being determined by the needs of people, but by the need for companies to grow and compete in the global market. And believe it or not, you and I are helping to fund this. The European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, which is funded by governments, lent Smithfield $25 million to facilitate another $75 million from private banks.
Smithfield benefited from a $100 million loan that was organized by the European Bank for Reconstruction Development. This is taxpayers' money that's being applied to the expansion of Smithfield.
We have a mandate, and this mandate is to promote transition in the former communist countries. We are not driven only by financial profit, but because we are driven by trying to set the way, basically trying to have a catalyst effect. And in that way, bring along with us then the private banks.
The whole mission of the European Bank has been to industrialize Central and Eastern European agriculture. No question about that, and that has the effect of pushing out small farmers and independent farmers, and also the effect of opening it up to takeover by foreign corporations.
Polish agriculture at the moment is not productive enough. Small farms are too small to be competitive. What would have happened if Smithfield would not have invested? I think for me this is the big question, the fundamental question. Probably that you would have the largest meat processor in Poland, being liquidated, disappearing. Would that be a good thing for the Polish farming industry or not?
So the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development has government officials from 60 countries on its board. So it sets the development pattern. But for who? For you and I, the electorate, the consumer? Or for giant corporations and the private banks that invest in them?
I moim zdaniem to jest również przejaw pewnej nieuczciwej konkurencji w stosunkach międzynarodowych. Polscy rolnicy produkujący żywność znacznie wyższej jakości, lepsze, mają o wiele większe problemy i trudności z dostępem do łatwych, tanich kredytów na rozwój swoich gospodarstw, czyli tu konkurencja nie jest równoprawna. Śmiem twierdzić, że ta konkurencja jest konkurencją zaburzoną.
I wanted to find out who's driving this economic ideology which promotes big business at the expense of small farms. So I went to see economist Bernard Lietaer, a former central banker and successful currency trader, now a university professor.
The financial institutions are running the show. The governments are all indebted to them. In the United States, a third of all contributions to political campaigns are done by the financial institutions. So there's no chance that they will change the rules of the game. I would compare the money system as a ring that we put through our nose, and it leads us where it wants to go. We forgot that we created the ring and that we put it there.
So this taxpayer-funded restructuring and modernization effectively means the end to family farming, which produces good animal husbandry, good quality food, satisfying work, and protects the environment.
Górę i potem tu w tym śrutowniku się mieszalnika i jest swoja pasza, nie? To znaczy śruty, pszenicy, żyta, zmieszanych różnych. Potem się dodaje czy ziemniaki, czy zielone. W zależności od pory roku, co wytworzymy na tym gospodarstwie. To są naturalny sposób karmienia świń.
Unlike Alicia's homegrown food, industrial farming demands an industrial-scale production of animal feed.
You have to be competitive, and I don't think you can really be competitive on a small farm producing your local feed in a way your grandfather has been doing, and still being able to produce it in a competitive way to the big companies like ours.
Cargill is one of the world's biggest suppliers of pig feed, one of the main ingredients of which is soya, and much of this comes from South America, including the Amazon rainforest. Here, as in Poland, small farmers pay the price of industrialization, provoking widespread protest.
Pois isso dá uma tristeza muito grande na gente, por saber que tudo aquilo que a gente gosta de conviver, dizer até amar é uma palavra muito mais profunda, né? Mas que a gente gosta de conviver está sendo destruído. Menos para ajudar um outro povo, mais para dar comida para bicho.
Que este povo ele seja solidário a nós e que dê basta nesse consumo dos produtos que são oriundos da Amazônia, principalmente soja.
In 2006, following pressure from their customers in Europe and Greenpeace, Cargill and other key traders agreed not to purchase soya from newly deforested areas in the Amazon. But there's still over 1 million hectares of soya grown in the Amazon, depriving local people of land and exposing animal and plant life to pesticides.